Hey everyone, this is Jennifer. Today I'm going to be sharing an unboxing basically of this Moterm Veg Tan Traveler's Notebook. It's in the color apricot, but before I talk about how it compares to their other leather lines and how it holds inserts and all of that good stuff, I did want to spray it and protect the leather a little bit. If you followed me on Instagram, you've probably heard my horror story of my Vanderspec Janet leather. I got it in one day, the very next day was church, and I got raindrops on it, and it took me a long time to kind of let this age and bond with me a little bit. I was very, very sad when the raindrop accident happened, and of course back then I didn't know anything about leather protection. So to avoid a similar story, I did want to spray this down, and I'm going to be using the Apple brand Rain and Stain Repellent. I have watched several videos on YouTube so that I won't be shocked, because people say at first you're going to think you ruined your planner, but it is needed because I want to keep this leather as nice as possible. So the plan is to spray this down, and I'll do that on camera so you can see what that looks like and the process of doing it. And then after it dries for several hours, I'll do the second part of the video. So here we go. I'm gonna shake it and spray. I do have a towel down to protect my desk. And you can see it gets kind of dark looking, but that is going to soak in. And then I'll apply a second coat, and it should dry the same color without darkening your leather any. So with movie magic, I'll be back in just a little bit. So this is after 3 to 4 minutes. I did spray the inside too, and you can see that it's already starting to soak up and go back to its original natural color. I'm going to let it sit just a little bit longer and then apply a second coat. All right, I'm back. I'm going to put on coat number 2 on the inside. And then we will do coat number 2 on the outside. And we'll let that sit, and I'll be back again later. Okay guys, I'm back, and I removed my towel. We've been to a couple birthday parties and out and about, so this has had basically all day to dry, and I think it looks exactly the same as it did when I opened it up out of the box. So I am very pleased with this Rain and Stain Repellent from Apple brand Leather Care. I did get this on Amazon, which I'll put a link for you below. It was scary at first to see all the wetness on it and the leather kind of darkening up, but I had faith, and I think it's going to help maintain some of this leather as I use it. And, you know, I do go in and out of my tote bag quite frequently, so I'm happy that I have something on this leather to protect it. So let's go ahead and jump in to the comparison part of this video. I have my current setup that I'm using in a Moterm planner in their, I think it's white or ivory, in their sort of traditional pebbled leather. Now this leather, the texture on it is all manufactured. So it's like steam pressed and then stamped to get this pebbled texture feeling. Whereas the new veg tan leather is just more of a genuine leather type of feel. So I did find this on Instagram. One of my friends reached out to me when she saw that I was looking for a Moterm standard TN in their new veg tan leather, and I couldn't find any available on the actual Moterm or AliExpress website. So I was super happy to grab this one, It is in the color apricot, and I like a lot of texture on my planners. So this front cover is very smooth. There's a little bit more texture on the clasp. And then when you open it up, this inside is even more textured. I don't know if the camera is picking all of that goodness up, but I almost wish that this textured leather on the inside was on the outside. And again, that's just a personal preference, but the outside hide on this is very smooth. Now, I think it will patina and darken up even with the rain and stain repellent sprayed on it. So we'll see how this holds up over time. But the thing that I really wanted to do is look at this compared to their old pebbled leather line and see if there are any changes as far as dimensions go. It looks like the width and height is exactly the same. And then when you look at the left hand pocket configuration with the zipper in the card slots, all of that is also the same. You still get the 4 strands, and then on the right hand side, of course, a pocket, a secretarial pocket, your card slots, and then this pocket right here. So I was really curious more about the dimensions to see if it was more narrow or if it was wider. So looks like exactly the same as their pebbled leather covers in the new Veg Tan line. Now you can kind of see that this seesaws or rocks back and forth, and that's because of the big back pocket. I actually don't utilize my back pocket very often. This is my Vanderspec. No changes made. It's just the Janet Leather Brown, and it is just a little bit, if I line up the left hand side, a little bit more narrow. And the reason that I moved out of this was because I have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 inserts in here, and these Moterm planners have always been ones that I reach for when I have a lot of inserts, because this one was just getting too bulky. Even with just like 4 inserts in it, the inserts come right to the edge of this specific planner. So what I wanted to do was take everything out of my current setup and just move it over and see how things will fit and how the leather lays when you have all of these inserts in it, because this feels, the pebble leather is very flexible, where this definitely has more structure. So I'm curious about how things are going to lay, and I've talked about this on my Instagram. I have everything in here just so that it pretty much lays flat on my desk. So there's my daily page, which is where I typically have my planner open on my desk, and I want it to lay like this. Same thing with my weekly. If I kind of give it a little bend, it lays pretty much flat. So that's important to me when I pick a traveler's notebook, and there are some on the market that just doesn't happen, and I think that's because of the structure of the leather itself. So let's go ahead and move all of this stuff over to the Veg Tan planner and see how it's gonna lay for me. I do have some of my inserts jump banded together, so let me find the center of this one. So I have 2 inserts here. I guess this can be sort of a flip too. 2 inserts in one dashboard cover, and then both of those go on my first elastic, and I'll repeat that process for the next 3 elastics. Okay, so the inserts themselves are in here, and the other thing, I really do like a square or flush spine, which is why I really like the Foxy Fix brand, because they have reinforced spines which kind of force those inserts to line up straight, no matter how many you have on there or jump bands or whatever. This feels like, so far, it is laying pretty much just like it did in the pebbled leather version. And then let's look at, I don't like that this doesn't lie completely flat. I might be able to train it to do that when I open it up. If I keep shimmying this over, that tends to help. Sometimes just breaking in the leather at first on a notebook, that's just how it goes, which I don't mind doing for a little while, but if it doesn't kind of train itself pretty quickly, then I will get annoyed and impatient and move on to something else. Okay, so that I think can be fixed. Yeah, it's laying pretty much like my other ones do, my other Moterm planners. Because of these elastics, I feel like how the elastics are in, they tend to kind of lay inserts on top of each other. As far as this goes, you can see how much elastic this has, a lot of give, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And you can kind of train your inserts to lay a certain way. So let me go ahead and open up to my daily page again. And put my ollie clip on. I really prefer these over paper clips because they don't dent the page or leave any marks. So yes, I think I can work with that. This will stay down a little bit more probably as I use it. That's not bad at all. And then if I go to this section, it's my monthly and my weekly. And I clip those together with another ollie clip. I also wanted to look at this pin loop. I do not use the pin loop on here because it sits underneath all of the inserts when you have an ink pen in, and it was just driving me nuts. Now this one looks like it's in the same space or alignment on this one. So let me just put this in and see how it's gonna lay. It almost needs to be outside of the planner, and I don't want to tug on that too much or stretch it out. So let's see if I can get that. Nope. You can see there with my inserts, it's kind of behind my dashboards, and I don't like that. So I don't think I'll be using the pin loop in this version either. Now what I typically do is I don't have this so stuffed that I can't go to the second popper, but then this is pretty tight. So what I like to do is put it on the first popper and then just have my ink pen in like that. So that's what I'll probably do for the veg tan as well, just like I did with the pebbled version. Okay, let me go ahead and move all of my other stuff over, just the decorative bits and pieces, and then we'll chat a little bit more. I covered this up, but this is a contact card that I made on Canva. So it does have my information in case I would lose my planner or leave it somewhere. And then on the other side, it has my husband's in case of emergency information. I also have this little card that I made that just holds some cloth and paper, little flags. And then I do have some Post-it notes in this craft paper. I think those are from Muji. And then over here, I keep different Post-its. and just kind of keep those peeking out just a little bit. And then I have a picture of my son and his favorite musician, Matthew West, up front there. So that still looks really nice with this color leather. And then I have all of my planner Kate stickers that I use in that pocket. And then in this zipper section, I do keep some checks, just a couple loose checks in case I ever need one, and some cash. I also use a couple of charms. This is from Fur and You. This one is from Charmed Goods. And I just tied it because it was a little bit too long for this planner. I think it was made for probably like a ring bound planner or something. So I'll put that one on first. And then this little tail. And then in the back, I keep these appointment notes from Cloth and Paper. And then a Cocoa Daisy notepad. Because I had a bunch of junk to clean out. So I do have some concert tickets, warranty on my car that I need to check on, a picture day order form, some stamps, some birthday invitations that I need to keep. So I'll put all of those in this back secretarial pocket. And then I have this fundraiser sheet. Maybe I'll just put it in my back pocket here, even though I typically don't do that. We're doing a fundraiser, so I've been getting this in and out frequently to write down people's orders. Okay, I think I have everything moved in now from my old setup. And I like it, guys. I was trying for so long to get my hands on the Veg Tan leather line, and I really, really like this apricot color. It's nice and smooth, and I think will really get some character over time. There is a little bit of texture. It's not completely smooth, so that is right up my alley. And overall, I think that compared to like my Vanderspec and my Giglio that I have, this is a great option for a fraction of the cost. And I would definitely recommend, if I were you, trying this out as a more cost-effective planner. It's still very, very nice and has some definite benefits to it other than just the cost, depending on what you need or want in your notebook. Okay, now I will say this. When I got this, I had just really kind of refreshed all of my papers and decoration in here. So I think I might leave it for a while, and I'm kind of digging this apricot leather with my orange and black color scheme. I have some other orange that I pulled in here and on this paper, and I just think it's really pretty. However, I do have the limited edition coffee kit from Cocoa Daisy. Let me just pull out some of the papers. I did a full unboxing on this, so you can catch that. I'll put a link in the description. But I was thinking when I knew I was going to be getting this planner that some of this would just be absolutely perfect. So I was kind of holding off on using this Cocoa Daisy coffee kit until this planner arrived. But look how pretty that would look. Isn't that gorgeous? So it probably won't be too long before I am getting bored with my current papers and end up switching out. but that is an option. And I think if I end up doing that, I'll film a separate video setting this up with the coffee kit. So that's going to wrap this up. I hope seeing the Apple brand in action being done will maybe make you brave enough to try it. If you are kind of like me and want to keep your leathers in as original or good condition as possible. I know a lot of people love the scratches and the marks and the watermarks, but I really prefer to keep these looking as new as possible. And then, you know, after years, you get this really nice worn in leather look too, and there's nothing wrong with that. So to each their own, but hopefully seeing that again helped you make a decision on if you want to treat your leather or not with some sort of protectant. And then if you are curious about how the veg tan dimensions and how the leather kind of moves and flexes to hold inserts compared to the old pebbled leather version. Hopefully that was helpful as well. If you guys have questions about something that I missed, please don't hesitate to comment and I will get back to you. Bye.